Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi here. Another video. Hey, I wanted to revisit my tank build. I was doing Tidal Basin, Heroic, trying to finish it off for the week. And we had a party member drop out. It was a guy I play with, or a person I play with a lot, Chinoy 25. And so I switched to my tank build to kind of make sure that we could get through it. Everyone had been playing a long time, so I wanted to make sure that we'd get through here. So again, this is the tank build that has Adrenaline Rush, Ridgeway to put bleeds and get a little bit of a self-heal. So we start on that end, take that first wave, and now I'm gonna go on this second end and get rid of these two chungas. I'm using the deflector shield so I can put some DPS. So I really love it when I face a chunga or one of the dogs. And I have Artificer Hive, and I'm a Technician build, so my shield's constantly getting healed. I could do headshots. You can see with the Liberty pistol it counts up, and you can heal your shield. I don't like to count on that. I'm not that great of a shot. And this Artificer makes it pretty stout. So I've seen sometimes where there's one chunga on that end and three on this end. I don't see the third chunga, so I'm going to go back down to that other end. Don't mind if I do. And I get these two chungas. I'm running back down to this end, clear this out. Normally these are smaller people that go to the right as you run into it. So I'm trying to clear up that mess. Nice thing about Adrenaline Rush, it's not necessarily a heal, but it gives you that extra armor for more enemies you're facing. It's kind of like a radar, so if someone has a mission where they have the radar turned off, when you're around people, you know, you start getting more armor, so that's a good indicator. My off weapon has Sadist on it, which is 20% more damage to enemies that are bleeding. Again, what you see what I did there, I engaged both the chungas, aggroed them, and then spun them around. So we're going to go over to the next part.
Cold storage device detected.
That's got to be the antivirals.
And I'm pushing really hard. When you have a tank build, I think that's one of the things that you should do. Oh, there's my dogs. That's Roxy. And a mounted gun, again, it's one of the best things. It's like free free ammo, free DPS. I guess if I really wanted to push this build, I would make a pistol, maybe not with Liberty, but maybe with Sadist on the pistol too. I'll think about doing that.
System disrupted.
So in this part of the map, you have an EMP. If you have people with skills in your group, this is one of those things. I also need a skill, so it's going to make sense for me to go bust that. Again, that's one of your jobs, kind of. I'm not doing a lot of DPS. I forget where it's at, so I just got to go do it.
System activated.
You don't want to die because that's unnecessary burden. You can see everyone's back. Oh, there's Roxy. You can see everyone's back. So I did my job right there, and now engage these people as much as I can. Keep this guy off the mount, and then let the DPS and other folks do what they do.
System malfunctioning.
And that's one thing about the Black Tusk. So this is great against the Black Tusk. If they have special ammo, they can disrupt you all the time, so it makes being a tank a pain in the butt. And that's why you want to have some type of self-healing. Sometimes you can use Catharsis. I did a video on Catharsis versus Ridgeway. And as you can see right there, there's no way that I want anything other than Deflector. Because I'm going to use his damage to kill all the mobs and then him. Or her. So I'd started this mission. I was high DPS skill. There we jump the wall. Again, I run out there. And trying to get the aggro on me so they can pick them off. Again, the problem with any shield build is the sides and the back. You really got to push people to in front of you. As long as they're in front of you, you got a good chance. I guess if you want to be maximum protection, if you had Catharsis and Unbreakable for your chest piece and Catharsis for your kind of self-heal. Then maybe Sawyer's knee pads where you stand still, you get 30%, damage. These are all kind of things you can tune or tweak, to make the build work for you. I found this combination works for me. I've tried other kind of, stacking with Heartbreaker, and it's just not happening. I don't do the chest piece and the backpack, and that's really what you need to make Heartbreaker really to really sing, but then I miss out on those two pieces, which I like doing different things with. I am going to get smoked here in a second.
Vital signs critical.
There's the rare heel impact. One of the things I do is I move forward. If there's one person that gets by me, I don't care. My job isn't to get every single person. If you're in a group and they're pretty decent, they're going to be able to, the three of them can always get one person or two people. So you're not really worrying about getting every single person aggroed on you. You want to get the majority of them aggroed on you.
Agent down.
And that was sudden. She sees me there too. See, on the radar, my comrades are real close to me. And I had a sequence earlier that I didn't have the recording on where I was just jamming. And I said, maybe I should record this. Because sometimes I think it's obvious, like some tank builds. But maybe it's good to see it in action. Now I'm really going to push this spot, right? I know that I'm going to have healing because people are close to me. I'm going to get that, and by the time I'm there, I'm up into the white again. And there we go. And so really, getting rid of those things that take away skills is really important because some people use shields with their DPS. Of course, any skill build, you know, you're neutering them if they have the EMP on. So you want to do that. And that's your roles as a tank. In the video I did before this, how do you know if your build's good? It's if you can push and you can do your job. Your job as a tank, right, is to spearhead. You're going to res people. You're going to do all the kind of tough spots. We're going to skip over to this part. This is a really fun part. Again, I run past the two reds, engage the yellow, make them turn around. And so I go to pick up my teammate. And one of the things, when you can, you should always res your teammates because you're losing 25% of your DPS at a minimum. Then up into the inside of the hovercraft. Again, more rinse and repeat. Again, I also have told you, you know, you want to kind of help shape the battlefield. So you don't want to just push really deep on one side. That creates a situation where people might flank you. Or you're going to push a bunch of mobs down the side that people aren't ready for. So trying to keep things balanced. Use the Johnny Fives machine gun attack against him and his teammates. And now to the final. I skipped those three guys that come down the ladder. That's stupid. I'm right on her tail. And they've changed this since it first came out, I think. You have these three to kill. You can do these with Oxidizer. I think he's going to use artillery and it takes him out. one of those things that if you don't have it pushing, if you don't have the clock pressure, it's just better for everyone. And I go right into engaging the chunga. And you're going to hear the helos coming. So I'm going to engage those 2 chungas. Now, we have a guy with artillery. So it's not as important that I turn him around, but that's always what you're doing, right? You're always practicing how you're supposed to play. So I'm going to turn them around and put their backs to them. So I got to grab aggro. Yep, and now I got to spin them around. There we go. So here's the part. It used to always be the left one, then the middle one, then the right one. And usually if your teammates are in the back, they can get the back of all these, they just can't get the front. So that's where I'm going to go to, hopefully immediately. And he's getting it with artillery. I'm going to go to the back, help out. What if your tank build can't survive? You got to get a new tank build. Maybe you have too much DPS. Maybe this build has like 5 blues and a yellow.
You're a real goddamn hero. Enough small talk.
So look what happens here. Right, I see there's 5 or 6 guys. I put my back to the wall and I try to engage as many as I can. I'm trying to put my bleed on all of them because that helps heal me. And I'm going to drag them slowly over to this thing. I'll back up, driving in reverse.
Rocket launch backup power activated. Launch sequence initiated.
Now go over to the last one, help him out over there, him or her. And the build's stout enough that you don't have to have the shield up the whole time. You're gonna be able to make it where you can run in the open. And when you're up in that pad where I just was, that's usually those guys coming over from this side are a pain in the butt. So if you can clear those out for that person, it's great. Spray and praying on the dogs. Here's the bad thing about this build. Battles raging everywhere else, and this dumb yellow, it takes a while to kill him. And that's, probably should have left that guy alone. There's Roxy. So, heading back over to the boss at this point.
Agent down.
Notice that one of the agents we have her down. I'm hoping that one of my teammates will pick him up. Doesn't do it. I'm not going to kill the boss. I mean, I'd like to kill the boss, but I'm not DPS, so I'm going to go res my guy so he can do it. Want to thank everyone for all the support last year. Appreciate if you can comment, like, subscribe, let other people know. Really helps me out. I appreciate it. Try and do this a little more full time. Put a little more polish on everything. And play games still too. So thank you again. Hope you have a happy new year. And say good night to the bad guy.